KX Akademy, a brand new venture, very exciting, very important. You're involved pretty much at the coalface with this, aren't you? Just explain how it came about and why you guys are doing it.
Well, you know, motorsport, and we all know lots of people. It's littered with really talented people, and there's lots of them who don't have enough budget. And you know, there's some people who don't have any money who have got lots of talent, and there's some people who have a little bit and just don't quite have enough. And it's those people we want to help, not the people with no money. But you know, ultimately, it's a commercial thing. We know we want to sell, or we want to help KX Energy Drink sell more product. But Tesco, who own that brand, are very passionate about trying to assist young, talented people and just give them a bit of a leg up. So we devised, we came up with an idea and came up with this academy, this bursary fund. So not only will we be providing, cash as top up to their budget, and that might be enough money which enables them to do a full season or enables them to have a little bit of surplus for accident damage and all those sorts of things, but also to provide them with some assistance and some help and a bit of guidance. I've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and I've made some good moves as well. And for me to kind of share that with the talented people we've chosen, which we've got 7 this year, is a really exciting thing. And it's been incredibly well received. We had over 140 applicants for 2013, and we've whittled it down to 7. So we've got 7 very, very talented young men.
The theme that keeps cropping up, certainly at this show every year, is how important it is to get the sort of mentoring, the grounding, the support outside of the car. Gone are the days where you just jump in the car and go quick. If you can't articulate properly, if you're not good with the media, there's a big package now, isn't there? It's not just about the driving.
No, absolutely, and I think driving the car is the easiest bit. That's the bit which is a given. You either got some talent or you don't. But it's all the other activity, and you've mentioned a few. But probably the most important thing is the commercial side of motorsport. It is a business, and without support from sponsors and investors and supporters, you ain't going to go anywhere. And it doesn't matter if you're Lewis Hamilton or Ayrton Senna, the talents of those, unless you've got some backing, you're not going to go anywhere. And one of the difficulties, or one of the challenges we had over the winter in coming up with, in choosing the final 7 was, we want to find some people who are astute, they're tenacious, they don't mind knocking on doors, they don't mind putting the hard work in to find sponsors, and also trying to find the ones with talent. Those are the people we've got, and I'm 100% confident we've got some very, very good people. In fact, there was more. We could have had more than 7, but needs must, and we can only run to 7 this year.
Okay, let's meet them. We met 3 of them this morning. We met Tom Ingram, Ant Wharton-Eales and Dan Lloyd, but let's meet the other 4, because we can't have them all on at once because there isn't room. So please welcome, I hope, in this order. Let's have Sam Tordoff, Stefan Hodgetts, Luke Herbert and Rob Boston. Yes. Yeah, well done, fellas. They did it right. That's great. Welcome, chaps. I'll just go down the line. Sam, for you, KX Akademy, a vital kind of stepping stone in your career, the sort of support that some drivers can only dream of.
Yeah, it's huge, and the first thing of all is to give a big thank you to them for, giving me a helping hand. Motorsport's very difficult at the moment. There's a lot of time is spent trying to source sponsors and talk to the right people, and to get a leg up from KX is invaluable.
What are you going to do with the backing? What are you doing going forward?
The plan this year is to race in the British Touring Car Championship, which I've been working towards for the last 4 years on the touring car package. And
watch out for that one, won't you?
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for him.
Ooh, crikey.
And so that's where we're aiming at the moment, and things are still in negotiation, and hopefully it should be announced soon.
I'll just get JP to chip in. Just talk about the guys individually in turn. You had all these applications. Why did Sam's application stand out, for example?
Well, it was pretty much a given that all the serious candidates, of which I mentioned we started off with, say, 140 plus, and we whittled those down to 20-something. You know, that final 20 were all talented, you know, aspiring young drivers who, you know, given the right opportunity, could go on and do well. But that's not enough. What we wanted to try and find, and I think I'm pretty confident we have, is we wanted to identify some young guys who, you know, thought about the marketing of motorsport, had an understanding about what they need to deliver for not just their own sponsors, but for KX, because, you know, Tesco, that, you know, these guys here and the three others are now sponsored by one of the biggest companies in the world in the form of Tesco, and you know, they've, you just can't put your hand out and take the money and stick it in your pocket and off you go racing. There's an awful lot they've got to deliver. So, you know, the interview process or right up to the interview process and including it, we wanted to hear about what their plans were, how they'd thought about supporting the brand, how they thought about how they could, you know, increase the brand awareness, other than just putting stickers on the car, because any mug can do that. So it was that slightly left field side we were more interested in than anything else, really. And these guys came up with some cracking ideas, and some of those initiatives we're gonna push through this year.
Yeah, we'll talk about some of the workshop elements of the academy and what's involved in a second. Stefan, you've won in just about everything you've raced in: Porsche Carrera Cup, Clios, Seats, Ginettas. But I guess you needed that sort of final leg up and a little bit of guidance to sort of make it stick, really.
Yes, indeed. And this year is actually the first year that I've come to the Autosport show, and I know that I'm going to be in a championship for the whole year. I have won in cars before, but I haven't actually had the full year in motorsport. So this year is really, really exciting for myself. I get a good chance to really work hard all winter and get the budget hopefully next year to progress my career. But this year we've actually got a full year in motorsport, which is the first year that I've had that, especially being at this Autosport show. Last year I had to break in through the cleaner's cupboard, but this year I've got all nice passes.
Is that a euphemism?
I'm here for a proper reason. It's really exciting.
Fantastic. Quote of the show. Well done. But it's hard, isn't it, when you've clearly got the ability and no cash. Shh, quiet. It's hard, isn't it? When there are so many guys who've demonstrated a certain level of ability and can't progress any further because there's no support.
No, definitely, and you see that with a lot of guys that have even won British Touring Car Championships and can't continue. But like Jason says, it's not just about putting a sticker on the car. We've really got to interact with the sponsors, make people happy, and just do a really good job.
JP, I guess you guys have looked at someone like Stefan and said, well, here's a guy who can jump in anything, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, and win, but he needs a leg up.
Yeah, you know, Stefan, I've known him for a long time, and you know, if you look around the paddock, there is no doubt at all he is an incredibly gifted lad behind the wheel. What he's not so good is the stuff outside the car, and you know, and what's held him back is he's never, as he said, he's never had, you know, any momentum built in his career by having a full season and then another full season to just get the thing going. And he's a perfect example of the guy we want to help, because he always manages to get a bit of money but never gets that, you know, the full amount. And you know, he's a fantastic talent, and he should be up there as a professional racing driver. And you know, we're going to try and help to bring him on.
Let's hope it makes a difference. Moving on to Luke. Luke, just recap what you achieved in 2012 and how you're going to go forward with this academy backing.
Yeah, I mean, 2012 was a great year for us. I competed in the Mazda MX-5 Mark III Cup, and it was a brilliant year, tough year, but came out on top, won the championship against some great names such as Chrissy Palmer. So that was a fantastic year, and then at the end, you know, to top it off, a couple of weeks after the last round, to get a call from Jason, informed me that I've got through to the final of the KX Akademy. It's just amazing, and getting the KX Academy, it's just given me that, you know, that help, that step to progress from club level racing to national level. Because I've done nothing like this before. You know, I've never stepped in a front wheel drive car until I did a test a couple of months ago. So yeah, the KX, it's boosted my driver profile from being a club driver to a national driver. So yeah, can't wait for the year to start.
And I guess if you can win in one makes, you clearly demonstrate an ability on a level playing field to be better than the rest.
Yeah, well, having the experience of the one makes on the Mazdas, I've had 3 years of it now. So Clio's been a one make championship. Hopefully I'll be able to compete up the front end by the end of the year, try and get on the podium mid-year.
JP, in Clio's, you're performing on a stage in front of touring car team bosses. You're on the telly. It's a great platform, isn't it?
It's a fantastic platform. It's one of the most competitive saloon car championships in the UK. And, just to pick up on Luke has said, and actually Rob for that matter, it was really important for us at the KX Academy to try and pick some people which were in club motorsport, which then come onto the TOCA package is a big scene. There's lots of people there. It's big TV, big spectators, and what you've mentioned, there's the touring car team managers, which all these guys want to aspire to be. So, yeah, really great to give these two guys in particular an opportunity to come and race. I want for better expression in the big time in the UK.
Finally, a quick word with you, Rob. Where have you come from and where are you going?
Where have I come from? I started motorsport 5 years ago. My route into motorsport was through the Clio Cup scholarship. I actually won a full season's race in 2008. So obviously from that moment on, I've never looked back. We had a very successful season, but the following year had to find my own budget. So the Mazda's MX-5 Championship provided a great platform I think the year I won the championship, 2010, there was over 100 competitors all going for one trophy.
Yeah.
So, I think it was the biggest championship in Europe. So, it was really good to win that season. And every year I've just carried on consolidating on what I'd done the year before. So I went on to win the MX-5 Cup 2011 in the same sort of vein as what Luke had done. And then last year, won the Elise Trophy and the Lotus Cup UK. So yeah, I've had a very good.
It's a bit greedy.
Jack the lad, I would have thought. Whoever's on the faders back there is not very good, is he, Mr. Fader?
You tell him.
Yeah.
You win you know what it's
all
like.
right, doesn't he?
You know what it's like to win a one make series. You won Renault Spiders in '96, and bosh, you get a touring car drive.
Yeah, bit more to it than that, but. Yes, you're right. To win a club, to win any one make series is a tough thing, and to win more than one is a bit of an indicator that someone's got a bit of talent. But the key to being successful in this game is not so much what you do in the car; it's what you do out of the car.
Yeah.
You don't get your bum in one of those things unless you come with some sponsors and some backers, and that's what we want to try and assist them. Not just by the financial side, but by all the the workshops and the mentoring and we've got access to some fantastic people. To give you an idea, if you imagine the amount of product and the skills that Tesco must have in negotiating their deals, well, we've got access to those people. We've got access to their training courses, to their colleges, their presenters, and we want to try and get these guys along and improve their skills out of the car. Not so much in the car, they can all drive.
Good stuff. Guys, thanks for talking to us. We wish you all the best in 2013. Hopefully we'll be hearing much more of you in the pages of Autosport and beyond. Sam Tordoff, Stefan Hodgetts, Luke Herbert and Rob Boston, ladies and gentlemen, and our thanks, of course, to Mr. Jason Plato. Thanks, guys.